A very good noon to all of you. I am Nikita and I welcome you to this session, Error Identification. This question type is a common question type asked across your other management entrance tests, right? So be it SNAP, NMAT, TISNET, uh, IFT, ZAT, in all of these exams, you can see these questions have come in the previous year papers. Hence, this session. All right. Also, it will help you to improve in terms of the expressions you use. Okay, you may be using some conjunctions incorrectly, so you'll get to know that today, how to use them correctly. So it's also important for your conversations. It will also help you to become better speakers, readers, and writers. Right? Hi, Pratik. Good noon. I hope you're doing well. All right. So ready for some questions? These are short questions, okay? So I'm not going to give you much time for each, and we'll be fast today. We'll learn quite a few things through these questions. Okay. All right, then. This is the direction, okay? You have to spot the error, if any, in the sentences that follow. Right. So this is your first question here. And tell me if there is any error. If there is no error, then you can say D. Okay. D is no error. All right. Let's see what you say. Pratik, what do you think? Hmm. 30-second question this is. Okay. My manager's 15-minute speech was very encouraging. Right? So, my manager's, this part appears right, was very encouraging. Again, I don't see any error there. The error lies in part B, 15 minutes speech. Okay. So, see this. I am using this duration to describe the speech for how long it went, right? So this 15-minute is a description of the noun speech. And what are describing words called? They are called adjectives. So this 15 minutes is actually acting as an adjective here. And when, durations, time, this acts as an adjective, we do not put the S here. So if I want to say, I have a 7-year-old niece. So this is how I will write it. Sorry, niece. This is how I will write it. See this. So niece is the noun here. Niece is the noun here. And I am describing my niece here, isn't it? So 7 years old nahi hoga, 7-year-old hoga. Okay, 7 years old nahi hoga, it will be 7-year-old. So whenever you mention someone's age, whenever you mention some time, some duration as a descriptor, as an adjective, it is not written in the plural form. It is written in a singular form. Also, one more thing you must have noticed, I'm putting hyphens. So we need a hyphen also between 15 and minute. This is also essential. This tells me that this entire thing is one adjective. Okay, so 15 is not a separate adjective, minute is not a separate adjective. 15-minute is one single adjective describing the noun speech. I hope this makes sense to all of you. Perfect. Excellent. So remember the hyphenation and remember that it will be singular. 7-year-old, the hyphens will be at both the places. Okay. Because if I just write this, okay, I have a 7-year, and if I write old separately, okay, that would mean that, okay, 7-year is one adjective and old is a different adjective. So I have an old niece. See this. That's how somebody can interpret it. If somebody breaks this sentence into two parts, I have a 7-year niece and I have an old niece. That would be incorrect. Okay, perfect. So let's go to the second question. Now that this is clear to you, if there's any query, please ask. If there's any other usage that comes to your mind, okay, how do I use this duration before a noun? You can ask me that as well. All right. Okay. How about this? Question 2. Any error here? Let's see what you say. Angela says that B is erroneous. Ujjwal says D is erroneous. All right. D is, sorry, no error. D is no error. All right. Pratisha says that again, no error. So it's D. Okay. Sumit says there is an error. So, Angela, Sumit, what is the error? Can you tell me that also? How I can correct this error? I would like to know that. Hmm. Rajesh received 3/4. This is a very common error. Okay, 3/4. I have talked to you about this in earlier sessions also. In case you attended some of my earlier grammar sessions, you would know this. Usually, in mathematics, students don't pay attention to this aspect of fractions. Okay, so we write 2/3, 3/4, but that is incorrect. Why? Why is it incorrect? See, whenever the numerator is greater than 1, that means there are more than one parts. So see, basically 3/4 means what? That I have divided something into four parts, and right now I am talking about three of those four parts, right? So 3 is plural, right? If I'm talking about three of those parts, 3 is plural. So it should be 3/4. It should be 2/3. 2/3. Okay, 4/5. Again, 4/6, whatever you want to take as the numerator, right? 4/7. Let's say. So I've divided something into seven parts, and I am currently looking at four out of those seven parts. This is how you write fractions. Remember this. And you always again, hyphenate them, right? You put a hyphen between the two words. Why? Because this is one compound word. ये एक word है ना, 3/4. तो यहाँ पर आएगा hyphen to indicate that this is one word. Good, Angela, good. Hyphen aspect was correct, and it will be 3/4. Whenever the numerator is greater than 1, the denominator will take an S. Remember this. You can note it down. Okay, so these kinds of errors, they are tested in your exams. Okay, and these are the things that students may not notice, let's say in their daily life, or sometimes they intuitively know it, but they're not quite sure about it. And that's why you need to solve as many error identification questions as you can, right, to learn such concepts. So let's have a look at this. Correct, incorrect. Sumit says A, all right. Okay, all right. What else? No error? Does anyone feel that? No error? Okay. A. Three of you say A. One of you says B. Ujjwal, give me the error in B. Hmm. Okay. So interesting to see that quite a few of you say A because of the missing of. Some of you feel that of is missing. See, of is optional here. You must have heard this idiomatic expression, if you prepare consistently for, I mean, I'm just giving an example here. So the example is, if you prepare consistently for any entrance exam, that is half the battle won. We say this, no, this is half the battle won. We never say this is half of the battle won. Half the battle won is what we say. So this off here is optional. You can put it also, you can skip it also. Half the battle won is an absolutely correct expression. So half the household items, correct expression. Nothing wrong with it. The error here is a very fundamental error, subject verb agreement error. Half the household items are luxurious. Okay, see, fractions. When I talk about fractions, these are simply proportions, isn't it? Now, proportions by themselves are neither singular nor plural, right? They could be either. So, by themselves, when I say half, it depends on half of what, no? Right? So, uh, half the orange or half of the orange has or have been eaten, right? So, because I'm talking about one orange here, you will never say half of the orange have been eaten. You will say half of the orange has been eaten because I'm talking about a proportion of one orange, one single orange. But here I am talking about a proportion of many household items, isn't it? This is plural. So I will put a plural verb here and not a singular verb. So fractions by themselves are neither singular nor plural. It depends on what is it that they are a fraction of. What is it that they are a proportion of. If they are a proportion of multiple items here, for instance, household items, the verb will be plural. If they are a proportion of a singular thing, the verb will be singular. Okay, hope this is clear. So are luxurious. B was the erroneous part, not A. All right. So this was a bit about fractions, three-fourths, half, right? And we also talked about numbers. So 15-minute speech, 3-year-old child, right? So this that applies that rule for adjectives that I told you that applies to numbers. Okay, measurements, duration, age, time. That rule 15-minute wala that applies to all such expressions, right? When they come before a noun, right? 15-minute comes before speech. So when it comes before a noun, no S and a hyphen is needed. Okay, let's have a look at this. Any error here? Okay, so what is the error, Ujjwal? Angela also says A. What is the error? Pratik also says A. So you have identified the error here. Just tell me also what is the error. Madhav says B. To complete your assignment before Monday. What's wrong with this? इसमें क्या error है? Madhav? Good, Ujjwal. Kindly is not needed. It's a redundancy, isn't it? The moment I say requested, that means okay, the element of please or kindly do it is incorporated in it. Okay, it's inbuilt in it, inbuilt in the word. So kindly is not needed. It's a redundancy, right? It's a redundancy. So that makes this sentence erroneous. For instance, a lot of times when students don't understand something, they tell me, please repeat again. Okay. However, The again here is redundant. The moment I say repeat, re means again, right? So please repeat is sufficient. Okay. No, 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 no. Ujjwal, to kindly complete, nahi, 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 nahi. That is erroneous. Kindly is not required at all. Moreover, we will not put kindly between to and complete. Okay. When we have such an expression, it's called an infinitive, right? To complete, to plus the base form of the verb. This is known as an infinitive. What are infinitives? Infinitive consists of to, this is its structure, to plus the base form of a verb that acts either as a noun or as an adjective or as an adverb, right? A noun, adjective, or an adverb. So, to plus base form of the verb acting as any of these is called an infinitive. We never split an infinitive. We never put anything between an infinitive. Right, so this becomes a split infinitive if I do that. That is considered to be again a major error by strict grammarians. Some non-strict grammarians, they are okay with it, but split infinitive is something that we avoid. Okay, it is considered an error. Okay, hope this is clear to you. Kindly ki zarurat hi nahi hai. A was erroneous, right? Let's move to the next question. Let's see what you say. Easy one. Okay, okay. Pratyusha says A, Ujjwal also says A, Angela A. All right. So why is it? So Ujjwal, you're right, but ऐसा क्यों है? Why should I write has he? Not only has he invested. Any reason for it? In the share market is fine. Option B is fine, Arman. So you're right. It should be not only has he invested, you're absolutely right. A is erroneous. The reason behind this, that we are putting the helping verb first and the subject later, this is called subject verb inversion in grammar. इन्वर्टेड हो गया ना नॉर्मली हम सब्जेक्ट पहले रखते हैं वर्ब बाद में आता है राइट बट हियर वी हैव इन्वर्टेड इट द हेल्पिंग वर्ब इज कमिंग फर्स्ट एंड द सब्जेक्ट इज कमिंग लेटर that is because my subject starts with a negative word, right? Yes, it is helpful for CET because CET does ask a lot of grammar questions, right? When my sentence begins with a negative word like not or rarely, barely, hardly, no sooner. So these are negative words, aren't they? When my sentence begins with a negative word, then subject verb inversion happens. Sorry. Rarely has he inquired about my health. Okay, about my health. This is how I will write. Rarely has the helping verb, then the subject, then the main verb. Okay, barely had I left the room, barely had I left the room, that they started gossiping about me, right? Barely had I left the room, that they started gossiping about me. ठीक है तो had I. No sooner again, same story. No sooner had I left the room, hardly had I left the room. So these are used in a similar manner, right? So hardly is followed by when, no sooner is followed by than. So hardly had I left the room when they started gossiping, no sooner had I left the room than they started gossiping. Please take care of this. Okay, barely here that will come, but with hardly when, no sooner than. And the main thing that we are learning is that subject verb inversion will happen when a sentence begins with a negative word. Okay. All right. Jai Hind, Manish. Okay, suddenly I'm feeling very patriotic. Yes. So coming to the question 6, what do you say? Yes, it is applicable with all tenses, Arman. Not only is he a doctor, but he is also a choreographer. Okay. Ujjwal says C. Pratyusha also says C. Others? Okay, correct. So, although is a conjunction that expresses contrast, right? ये क्यों use होती है? This expresses contrast. Similarly, yet is also a conjunction that expresses contrast. So one of them is enough. Either you say Manoj was a poor farmer, yet he was happy in his life. Okay, or you say although Manoj was a poor farmer, he was happy in his life. You can't use both together, right? So here, because although is used first, C becomes erroneous, yet is not required with although. Right? C becomes erroneous, yet required नहीं है यहाँ पे, although हमने already use कर लिया है. Right? And although is very similar in usage to though, and even though is used for emphasizing. Right? Sometimes students ask me this difference between even though and though. This is more emphatic. ये ज़्यादा emphasize करता है. Okay. Though and although same usage. They are both used to express contrast. However, while although can be used only in the beginning of a clause, though can be used anywhere. Though can be used anywhere in the sentence. Right? It can be used even at the end. ठीक है. So we are learning some accompanying things also. So although, though, even though, difference between though and even though. Then how although and though same usage. However, though can come anywhere in the sentence. Okay, she's happy though, but I can't say she's happy although, right? So remember this. Also remember no sooner than, hardly, when, barely, rarely. That all these are negative words. Okay, let's come to another question. Question 7. Emphatic means something that emphasizes. Okay, that is emphatic. Okay, so by now you must have picked up the pattern. We are identifying conjunction errors. Yes, so both and is again a correlative conjunction pair, just like hardly, when, just like no sooner than. So both is followed by and not as well as. Right, and not as well as. Okay, so this is the erroneous bit here. Okay, correct, correct. Both Ramesh and his cousin took part in the marathon. Okay, now what about this one? Eighth. Scarcely, scarcely is also followed by when. Yes, scarcely when, hardly when. Okay. Let's see what you say here. B is what you say. Okay, all right. You are correct. So what should I replace it with? There is one word that needs to be replaced here. In fact, the is also required. So I wonder whether the government, because there's an or not later on, right? So I wonder whether the government will approve my project or not. Right? B is erroneous here. And one, I would like to correct myself at one place. Just a second. Uh, this will also be when, because the meaning is the same, right? So hardly, barely, and scarcely. These all will be when. So when you asked me about scarcely, it got me thinking. All of these, scarcely, barely, hardly, सबके साथ क्या use होगा? When. ठीक है? All are followed by when. So this will not be that, this will be when. Okay? Because the meaning is the same. Scarcely, hardly, barely. So both Ramesh and his cousin. Okay, and this is I wonder whether the government will approve my project or not. Okay, so this was about conjunctions. Okay, let's see what you say here. Question 9. ly से एंड होने वाला सब नहीं 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 no. So I gave you the example of rarely. No, rarely does he inquire about my health. Okay, rarely does he inquire about my health. I gave this example also. So it does not require anything here. No other pair, right? Okay. How about, so you say C is the erroneous part here. Okay. Please correct it also. Okay. So you have to give me corrections also. खाली error नहीं बताना, मुझे corrections भी दो. So what will be the correction in 9th? Was should change to were. Okay. Any other correction? Anybody who feels that no, this is not the correction is something else? See, that's why I asked you. Because sometimes we mark the correct option, but a rationale is not correct. No. Let's see who answers this correctly. So, waiting for your responses. Hmm. Nobody has given the correct answer yet. Okay, chalo. Let me give you the correct answer. See, two solutions were provided. Two. For two, we do not use none. For two, we use neither. For more than two, we'll use none. Right? So either and neither, they are used when we have two choices. When we have two choices, whereas none All. They are used when we have more than two choices. Okay. So neither was correct. Was is fine with neither. Either and neither are always singular. Okay. As pronouns, when they are used as pronouns, तो यहाँ पर ये pronoun ही है ना. Neither what? Neither solution. So neither refers to solution, right? So it's a pronoun. So as pronouns, they are always singular. So neither was correct. Okay. Hope this is clear. C is the answer. Okay. Let's come to the 10th question. What do you say? Good, 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 good. Easy question this was. Yes. So this has to be each. Why each though? What's the difference between each and every? Let me write here. Difference between each and every. Yes. Hmm. Yeah. Actually, there are two errors here. Uh, the option should be A and C. Option D is both A and C. Both are erroneous. ठीक है, C भी erroneous है. So good that you identified the glaring error, right? The glaring error is this, but this is also incorrect. It should be his childhood, not their childhood. I'll tell you why. See, so first of all, each is used when we have two entities, like right, just like either, neither. Each is used for two entities. Every is used when we have more than two entities. यहाँ पे two young boys हैं, so each will be used. Another difference between the two is that each is used when we have a limited set, when we know that what is the upper limit. Okay, so let's say if I know that the class has 50 children, so I can say each of the 50 children, right? However, when it is not defined, when we do not know our set, the upper limit of our set, then we'll use every child, right? Not each child. In that case, if I don't know how many children are there in the class, okay, or in fact, let's not take the example of a class. So if I don't know how many children um, are there in the world, because see, children are being born every minute, every second. So there I'll use every. Okay. So this is clear. 2+ के लिए एवरी है, 2 के लिए ईच है. वेरी वेल आइडेंटिफाइड. ऑल्सो ईच यूज होता है जब लिमिटेड है हमारा सेट, और एवरी यूज होता है जब इनडेफिनेट है. ठीक है, दिस बिट इज क्लियर टू यू. नाउ why am I saying that it has to be since his childhood and not their childhood? Tell me, what is the subject? Okay, what is the subject of this sentence if I ask you? The subject, is it boys or is it each? The subject is each and not boys. ठीक है, ये subject नहीं है. This is not the subject. This is just a descriptor. Okay, it's a prepositional phrase and it is describing, it is telling me something more about this each. ठीक है, तो each अगर subject है, then remember this always: each, every, either, neither. When they are used alone, by alone I mean मैं either or neither nor की बात नहीं कर रही हूँ. I am just talking about either, neither when used singly, not with or and nor. So each, every, either, neither, always singular. So it's again a subject verb agreement concept. Subject verb agreement concept. ठीक है, so it will be his childhood. So both A and C are erroneous here. Make sense to you? Anything that you wish to ask? So I can proceed then. Both A and C erroneous here. This is clear. ठीक है, let's proceed. Okay, let's have a look at the 11th question. What do you say? Is it correct? Is it incorrect? A. Okay, you say at home. All right. Then one of you says B. Why? Why is B erroneous? B में क्या problem है? Okay, okay. The answer here is no error. We stayed home. Again, this was the trap in this question, right? We stayed home is a correct expression. Okay. It is an idiomatic expression. It means we stayed at home. The at is implied here. Okay. For instance, he arrived home. He arrived home. He's reached home. We say this. No, oh, he has reached home. He has reached home. Then we say, I am home. Yeah, you can come over. I am home. Right? Honey, I'm home. This is again a very popular expression. So, when we use home in this sense, home is used as an adverb in this sense. Okay. So, we stayed where? We stayed home. And this is an idiomatic usage. Okay. It is an accepted usage. Home को हम एक noun की तरह से नहीं बल्कि एक adverb की तरह से भी use कर सकते हैं. Okay. Remember this. So, I hope you'll remember this. So, what time did you get home last night? We say this, no, what time did you get to your home last night? तो नहीं बोलता कोई भी. So home is being used as an adverb here. This is correct. No error in question 11. ठीक है? Yesterday will be in the beginning. Yesterday can be put in the beginning. That is not incorrect, right? Uh, okay, so when we have such expressions of time, tomorrow, yesterday, earlier, they can be put in the beginning also before the sentence begins. I can say yesterday and then a comma. And then the main sentence begins. Yesterday, we stayed home because of the bitter cold. So, this yesterday then modifies the entire sentence. That see, all of this happened yesterday. That is what it would mean. However, this usage is also absolutely correct, placing it later on. We stayed home when? Yesterday. And then I'm giving the reason for it. Okay, then I'm giving the reason for it. This usage is also absolutely fine. We stayed where? We stayed when. Okay, describing these things and then giving the reason. Okay. Now, question 12. Hanji, what do you say? Ujjwal says A. All right. Anjila also says A. So, when do we use this to plus adjective? I was too tired to walk, right? He is too loud to listen to, right? So when something happens to an excessive degree, This to here means excessively. And it is followed by negative adjectives, basically negative things. You state something negative after it. I was too tired to walk. Okay. You know, you are too naive to handle all these things on your own. Right. So, too glad. No, this is a positive thing that's happening. So, Santosh was very glad. In case I want to highlight how glad he was very glad. He was extremely glad. He was immensely glad. Okay, I can say that. He was immensely glad. It gives me immense pleasure. We say that, no? So he was very glad. He was immensely glad, but we'll not say too glad. Okay? So A is here. All right. Now, question 13. What do you say? No error. Okay, you say no error. All right. Others. No error. Madhav says no error. Angela says no error. Okay. Pratyusha says no, C is erroneous. Sonali says D, no error. Okay. Is this correct? Much too careless. Those who are saying no error, is this a correct expression? Yes. What does it mean then? I think it should be too much and not much too. What do you say? Too much होना चाहिए मेरे अकॉर्डिंग भी बोलना गलत है. In my opinion, it should be too much and not much too. Okay. So there is no error. You are right. Okay, I was just goofing around. Now, uh, too much is used when we have a noun after it. Okay, so she has shown too much carelessness in the completion of this project. Okay, so in this project, so in fact, maybe the project never got completed. So she has shown too much carelessness in finishing her tasks. Okay, then much too is used when we have an adjective afterwards. So she is much too careless, not too much careless, right? Much too. So it means very. So it's emphasizing that, okay, she's quite careless. Okay, much too careless, much too arrogant, much too whatever. So this is fine. There is no error. Okay, and do not get confused. ठीक है आपने सही बोला था पहले. D is the answer. Okay. Question 14. Let's see what you say. Anyone who has done these questions with me earlier? Anyone who remembers doing these questions with me? I think I did some of these questions with CMAT aspirants. Yes. Okay, I've got two responses. Right. Last question. I want enthusiastic responses. Nobody's responded yet. What has happened, guys? Nobody's responded yet. What has happened, guys? Simran danced in the college function elegantly yesterday. So, C is erroneous. Elegantly should not come here. Elegantly is an adverb that is telling me how she danced. So an adverb or an adjective, it should be placed as near as possible to the word that it describes. So it should be she danced elegantly in the college function yesterday. So C is erroneous, clearly. Okay. So this is about the position of an adverb. An adverb should be placed as near as possible to the word that it describes. Okay, placement error. All right. Is something wrong with my video? Just a second. I think now it's fine. Okay. There could be some lag earlier. So this is it from my end. I hope these errors. So we did some conjunction errors, some errors related to fractions, numbers, okay, some pronoun errors, some subject verb agreement errors, and some adjective adverb errors also, right? So I tried to cover various parts of speech with you, and I hope this helps you to at least understand how we attempt this question type, right? How we have to read each and every word carefully in such questions, and we cannot speed read through such questions, right? And this is a list of our CAT 22 toppers. Of course, this is not a complete list. There are so many more here, so many conversions we've had this year, right? So if you want to be one of those students next year, then you can join our course. This is a comprehensive program with a lot of features. You can explore these, read about them. The link for the batch is in the description box, right? And to make this accessible, we have a scholarship for you. So you can get up to a 90% scholarship if you perform well in this test that is going to happen on the 14th at 11 a.m. Right? So do take this test, and this will help you understand where you stand, if nothing else. Right? Apart from this, we have this workshop. Okay, Angela, I'll repeat this. I'll repeat the last one. So the last question was visible to all of you. Just a second, let me go back. 14th was not very, none to means not very, so 14th was correct, there was no error. Okay, none to correct expression tha. In 15th, elegantly was misplaced. Elegantly is describing danced, so it should be placed near to danced, right, and not anywhere else. Okay, and this is it. That's what I told. So, I was telling you about this workshop that we have, 6 months to CAT 2023. It's on the 21st at 11 a.m. So, do attend this. It will help you devise a test taking strategy for these 6 months. It will give you a clear roadmap. So, it will save your planning effort and will make your preparation focused. Okay, 11 a.m. 21st May. And to, students often complain that they don't have material to prepare from. So for addressing this, we have daily section wise quizzes for you on our app. For this, you need to download our app, BYJU'S Exam Prep, and there you will find these, okay, these quizzes. Also, for those who are preparing for CAT, I'm sure all of you, we have this series, 500 most expected CAT questions. It's an ongoing series and it's a long one. It will go on till CAT, so keep joining us. And yes, these are our social media platforms. I'm sure you've subscribed to the channel, and you can download the app also for more such sessions. So today itself, in fact, I have a session at 7 p.m. on the app. It's on para summary. So in case this is a weak area for you, you can join me at 7 p.m. on the app, right? All right, then this is it from my end. I hope things are clear, things were clear to you. Yes, and you enjoyed, you learned something new. I'll see you again. Okay, in the evening if you want to join me for para summary. All right, bye bye. See you.